part 7 where we are going to do our def zone and UI this time. So let's get straight into it and we'll make a UI. So go into your hierarchy and click UI and then click text. Go into your game scene so you can see it easier. And we'll just center it off. Just go 0, 0, 0. Let's call it score. Oh no, actually we'll call it lives. Lives for now. We'll do a score a bit soon. We'll just go 0. Yeah, try not to do that space. Let's go 32. And make sure you make these to overflow or else you won't be able to see them on the horizontal and vertical overflow. Let's have it in, say, the top right. Sound good? 0, 0, 0, and we'll give it a buffer of about 5 and -5. Yeah, that looks good. Alright then, so that's part of our UI. We will be making more UI. Actually, no. Let's just get into it and we'll make the rest of the UI. So we'll name this lives. What you can do is duplicate it. We're going to duplicate it twice. We'll call this one game over. Game over. And we'll actually rename it to game over. Let's make it all in capitals. Game over. Re-anchor it. If you don't hold anything, you just click it and then shift and also click it for the pivot point. We want it there. We'll make it a bit bigger than that. Let's say 42. And no, that looks terrible. It looks off-centered now. Yeah, 32. Why not? And we'll change its color to black. We'll also change the lives to black, just so it's a bit more clearer to see. Didn't really want to change it to black for some reason. Oh, that's why, because we have a second one there. Right, and we'll say this one winner. I was going to say winner chicken dinner, but I think it wouldn't fit. Winner. And we'll also move that to the center. Just like that. So you can turn them off. So now we have our game over. Make sure you turn them off like that. So with this button here, it actually turns off the game object. It just deactivates it. So we'll be turning both of them off and we'll be activating them through script. 42. Did I make this one 42? No, I left this one as 32. They look like they're differently sized. That's weird. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Turn it off anyway. And we'll be going into our game manager to access this type of stuff. So here we are. I have noticed that I haven't been making my code very big, so you guys might be struggling to see it. I'm sorry about that. So hopefully you guys can see it now a bit better. So we're going to need to access using Unity Engine .ui. This allows us to access the UI features, and we are going to make a couple new prefabs called a public game object game over, public game object U1, public game object score, I believe. No, live text. Alright, and now we are going to go down and create a new function called void is game over. So we also need a new another variable called public int lives, and we'll equal that to 3. You can make however many lives you want. I'm just going to set it to 3 as like a standard thing because that's how many lives generally we have. in most games, I mean. So go down into your game over new function that we just made, make it an if statement, and we'll go blocks is less than or equal to 0. If this is true, we want you to display u1.setActive to true. So what this will do is it will set that the winning text. It'll set this to active, so it'll just turn it on just like that. So that's great. That's what we want. And then we can we'll get back to that. We'll be doing buttons in a second. I have got buttons on my demo script on the side here, so we'll get back to that. We'll just do that for now, and then we'll go another if statement. If lives is less than or equal to 0. You could do just less than 1, but I prefer to just do less than or equal to 0. I don't know why, I feel like it just makes a bit more sense. So we'll do gameover.setActive to true. Done. So that will literally, if the blocks are 0, then we'll have 0 blocks. If the lives become 0, we'll get the winning. If the lives become 0, we'll get the game over. Now this isn't going to reset the game. What we could do is we could do time.timescale equals 0, and that will freeze the game, so the game won't you won't be able to move the player or anything, but we're going to destroy the player anyway, so that doesn't really matter. So now with that all set up, we'll go down to, we'll be making a new function called public void lose life. And in this one, we are going to lives minus straight away. So we're going to be minusing this straight away when we go into this, when this function gets called. Then we're going to go live text dot text equals lives. Alright, I'll fix that up in a second. Plus lives. If I spell it right, lives. It's not GUI text, it's just dot text. All lowercase. Alright, that should be working. I'm not too sure why it's having a bit of a fit there. Is it because I'm doing something wrong? Right, I am doing something wrong. This is meant to be text. My bad, I'm sorry about that, guys. So yeah, make that public text live text. You could make it a game object and then set it as a text in here, but it's alright. We just do it like that, it will work fine. So back down we'll go, and then we want to start doing, we want to destroy we'll be saying player. We haven't created that, we will in a second though. This is when we'll start doing some instantiation stuff, type of stuff. So if lives is greater than or equal to 1, we want to invoke player setup, which is, this is actually a function, and we'll be setting a timed delay, which we haven't set up as well, but we will in a second. And then what we're going to do at the end of that function is we're going to be checking if the game is over. So what this function is going to do is it's going to go lives is immediately drop down 1 point. Then it's going to update the text in the game. Then it's going to destroy the player object when we make it. Then it's going to check if the lives is greater than or equal to 1. And if it is greater than or equal to 1, invoke the function player setup with a timed delay. So we'll just quickly create a public int timed delay equals, and what did I set that equal to? Just 1f. We'll make it a float. You could do int though. And then we are going to make a new private game object called player. Alright, so we have, and we also need a public game object called player. Public game object called player. I'll show you what these do in a second. In the inspector, you'll see that you have to put your player, your winning, and your game over text into those. We're not up to that yet, just yet. So we'll be creating another function just below this called void, and we'll be calling it player setup. So just like that, player setup. And we will be going instantiate. So we'll be calling our player equals instantiate player. So this one here at transform dot position with an quaternion dot identity. I don't care about its rotation whatsoever as a game object. Alright, so what this will do is it's going to create a new object called player, and it's going to instantiate it, so spawn it in as this player object at this transform at quaternion.identity means at a rotation that we just don't care about. If you hover over it, it'll actually tell you the identity rotation. So the identity rotation means like whatever rotation this is already at. And then we want it to be as a game object. Alright, what else do we need to do really quickly? Sorry, this script is a bit big and it requires a bit of extra stuff. I also need to make this start up, so we need to call it here, player.setup, right there. So on awake we're calling this, and then we're calling the player.setup, so it sets this up straight away. So that should be fine. So with all that, now we go to our game manager. Now you'll see a heap more stuff. What we want to do is we want to drag in the correct text and game object. So the live text, game over goes into the game over, winning goes into U1, and the player prefab will go into player, just like that. Now what you can do now is, because we're instantiating player, we can actually delete it out of the hierarchy. It doesn't need to be there anymore. It can just be a prefab. And as soon as we press play, it should spawn the player in. Everything's working. We can still break stuff. And yeah, that's good. Lives are equal to 0. It should have equaled 3. So as soon as we play, no, it's equal to 0. That's interesting. It should be equal to 3. So lives is 3 there. I know changing my lives to 3 here shouldn't do anything. Why is it not? Because I'm never calling lose life. Where do I call my lose life? Oh, I call my lose life in the next script that we haven't made yet. Alright, so we're making a death zone, like a when this is triggered, we die. So we'll just call it death. Open that up in mono. Did it open? Nope. I want it to be a pain. Death. Alright, so this is going to be a fairly quick script as well. We don't need the update. We just need start. We're going to we don't need the start right now, but we will use the start soon for audio clips and stuff like that. So we'll just be typing and on trigger enter. We don't need any parentheses. And then all we say is game manager. So accessing the game manager script. We're accessing the static variable of game managers, and then we're accessing the lose life function. Done. And then we want to destroy. Do we destroy? We should be destroying. Oh, right, yeah. No, we don't destroy just yet. Oh, we'll destroy later. So, with that script now, go to your floor. Drag in the def. Okay then. Drag in your def script. And then turn on is trigger. Just like that. So now if we play, and it goes down, done. And then the lives update. So to fix that really quickly, we go back into our game manager and on void awake, we can go, so just like this, we'll just copy and paste it. How about that? We'll just go paste. Now the only thing is, no, that's exactly perfect. So just like that, and it's only going to happen once, is immediately as we start the game. So now if we press play, it should update to 3. There we go. I lost. And then it spawns the player back. So let's have a look and we'll see the game over. I'm not gonna get a winning. I'm not very good at this game. But we got the game over, and I would assume that we would get the winning as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this episode of my tutorial part 7. It was a bit longer. We did a couple more extra things. Next video, we're going to do a main menu and possibly add a scoring. The score really doesn't matter. There's only 55 points you can get, but maybe we could try and do some type of multiplication type of deal. Like if the ball hits, say, three at one time, it might be able to start multiplying by every 2 before it hits the paddle again. We'll toss that up. We'll have a look. But definitely next time we're definitely going to be doing a main menu, and then actually we're going to be doing more on the game manager. We're going to finish up the game manager, so we'll be instantiating these blocks as well. So there won't be a prefab anymore in the actual hierarchy. They'll just be instantiated on play, and then we'll fix up the rest of the game manager, and then also probably the main menu. So yep, hope you enjoyed. Definitely give me a like, subscribe, and comment. Always comment if you have any troubles, and I'll always reply back to you. So yep, thanks a lot for watching my videos, and I'll catch you later.